Today's video is about finding pelvic stability in sideline and also prone on your belly. I wore my fancy belt for you today so you can see what form I want you to be in. So you can start sideline against a wall. That's great for feedback as well. And place your hand on your hip. So your head is back, it's lined over your shoulders, your tail is lined with your head, and your feet are lined with your tail. Just tuck your tail under and then release it back. So you're tucking under, posterior tilt, and then tip back, booty back, anterior tilt, and then find the in-between. Take a breath in, exhale out through your nose. Inhale, and again. On your next exhale, feel your navel and sacrum narrow in towards one another and up your spine, like you're sandwiching the front and back halves, in and up. And again, just coordinating the breath with that feeling. Now I want you to hike your hip up, your top hip towards your shoulder. Notice how my belt is lifting towards my shoulder, and then move that hip towards your heel. And notice I get a small little space underneath my waist. And lift back up. And so we're rocking the pelvis. This is exactly what I don't want to happen during the exercise. So extend your right leg long. Feel that front and back body active, and then lift your leg as high as it'll go without the hip popping up. And then lower the leg hip level. Exhale, lift the leg up and hold it. I want you to feel this glute med. So it should start burning a little bit and then lower it down. So you're just activating that muscle and lift up. Flex your foot. You can't see my feet, but I'm pulling my pinky toe towards my shin as well as the other toes, but the pinky toe tends to just hang out and not join the party. So really pull it up and then lower it down. So I like the hand on the hip because it gives you feedback. You could also do a little TheraBand around your waist or belt and coach yourself in the mirror. So again, the pelvis is still. We're working that leg bone up and down. You're feeling that activation from the back and front body supporting your spine. Stay there and then lower it down. Bend your knees. Notice I'm not at a 90-degree angle. I'm at more of a 45. Exhale, open the right knee up towards the ceiling and then lower it down. And again, open, just getting that choreography and lower it down. Place your hand on your sacrum. Push the palm in and up a little bit of support. As you lift the leg, don't let your sacrum push into your hand. And then narrow down. Exhale, lengthen your spine, open the knee. And make sure as you're here, you're not rounding and tucking your tail under. You want those curves of your spine. And you're thinking of the thigh bone just sinking into that sit bone. So you're externally wrapping. And rotate. A lot of us, including myself, will rotate the whole pelvis. Don't do that. It's a smaller, controlled motion, stabilizing in here, and lower it down. So you can actually feel like you're cinching your belt as you're opening. And give me 2 more. So I'm just doing the basic movements. You can add pulses, you can add reps, you could add a foot lift and doing the same thing to add a little more challenge. Now, I like to use a block for getting into my adductor, so I place the block just below my top knee. And then the bottom leg is directly underneath your hip. Lift it up and hold. As you're here, feel that high inner thigh right by your pelvis alive. And then lower it down to a hover. Exhale, find length in your spine as you float that leg up. And then lower it down. So it's super high. Your knee is facing directly towards me. It's not rotating in or out. And lower it down. As you're doing this, make sure you're not driving your waist down in the floor. There's that gentle lift. 4 more. Slower is harder. You could add ankle weights. But even if you do slow without any props, you can feel this deeply. And 2 more. Let the head, upper body relax. Let's switch sides. Same setup. Start with your knees bent about 45 degrees. And now if you need a little bit more support, you can use a hand at any time, okay? So place your hand on your hip. Extend your top leg. Now hike your hip up towards your shoulder. Just to remind yourself what you don't want. And then push the hip away. Lift the leg above the hip and hold. Make sure you're feeling something right on that outer hip side. Lower the leg down. Exhale, fire up your core, lift up and hold. And lower it down. Do a little sacral check. Make sure the hips are stacked and that the top hip is not rotating back as you lift the leg. Imagine you're stomping something away, like you're pushing your foot into a cement wall. Exhale, 4 more. And 3. Make sure your ears are over your shoulders, no forward head here. And 1 more. And place the leg down into rotation. Open the leg and lower it down. So if you're dying after a few reps and you're feeling it in that pocket, you're doing it well. If this feels easy, you might be going into some oblique work by accident or some low back work. Remember, all of this is very still. We're just rotating the leg bone. Feel your upper body sink. So you want to learn where to use your energy. We're focusing here, and up here is chilling. Coordinate your breath. Exhale. Exhale before the movement up. And release. Grab your prop. And let's go to adductors. You could also just bend your knee as well if you'd prefer that. And then lift the bottom leg up and hold. Make sure you're in a nice neutral spine. Hold it and then lower it down. And exhale, lift. And lower it down. As you're lifting, feel length in your spine. You're shooting your sit bones away from your head. And you're feeling the crown of your head lengthen away from your pelvis. So you're growing long. 5 more. So you could balance a cup of coffee on your inner heel, cocktail. Right there. Good. Anyone want to do that? You can send me a video. I would love it. Martini challenge. Martini on the heel challenge. And hold it there for 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm adding that in just to show you little options you could add is little pulses, circles, all of the above just to add a little more variety and challenge. Okay, now let's go into some back leg. So lie on your tummy, and I'm gonna face my head down, and just feel the tops of your feet and your thighs connect to the floor. Feel your pubis, the base bottom of your pelvis connect to the floor, and your front hip bones. There's a triangular shape right there. Exhale, pull your navel in without squeezing your tush, and you will slightly tuck the tail by default, and then let it go. And again, lift up, let it go. On the next exhale, lift the left leg up and hold. As we're here, we tend to seesaw right and left. Keep your hip bones level on the floor and lower it down. Exhale, switch. So you want to feel this high up by your glute fold. Don't think about lifting your foot. Think about lifting high up in that bone area. Now, if you feel that your back is arching, you're doing too much. It's a very small range. Feel length through the crown of your head and the spine as you're doing this. If you're going about 30 degrees with that leg extension, you've gone way too far. That means you're arching your low back. And do a few more. Coordinating the exhalation before the leg lift. 1 more each side. Now that might be enough for you. If you want a little more challenge, exhale, lift both legs up. You can lift them both up an inch and down an inch. Make sure it's high, high, high up there. And 6. This is slow tempo. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees wide, child's pose. Take a few deep breaths. Into the side and back ribs. Sit bones are wide. Smile those sit bones wide. Relax the tush. And there you go.